And I'm going to share my screen. I think it's just going to be the two of us today. So maybe it will be a short class. I'm not sure. Okay. So, yeah, thank you very much for being here on this listening drill session. Today we're going to talk about sibling rivalry. Um, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the session. This is going to be our agenda, the usual. We're going to, well, say hi, discuss a little bit about the goal, do a warm up activity, then we'll do more listening activities, and then we'll do like a wrap up activity too. Can you please help me reading this goal, please?
Yes, teacher. So, goal. By the end of this class, students will develop their listening comprehension skills by focusing on a spoken monologue about sibling rivalry. They will learn to identify key ideas and underlying messages, even when the speaker uses natural, fast, and connected speech.
There you go. Thank you very much. So yeah, pretty much we are going to do today is that we are going to practice our listening comprehension skills by focusing on like specific details that a person is going to say in a monologue. But we will also we're going to identify the main ideas of a message. And yeah, try to understand what the speaker is trying to say in a very natural, fast, and connected speech. So we're going to start with this warm up activity. Mm, Please let me know if you can listen to the video.
Most people have a
Can you listen?
Yes, teacher.
Could you listen to the video, Jason?
Yes, teacher. I could.
Okay, perfect. Let's play it.
Most people have a sibling. In fact, children in the US today are more likely to grow up with a brother or sister than with a father. Now, while a lot of social scientists research the impact of schools and parenting, little attention is given to a relationship that might be even more consequential. So, what do we know about siblings, birth order, and why children from one family grow up to have very different personalities? Let's start with our analysis of the tragic story of the two most famous brothers in Western history. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Cain who received all the love and attention from both of his parents. Growing up, the boy knew only one world, and he himself was at its center. Everyone around him cared only for him and nothing else. All that changed when his mother gave birth to Abel. Cain should have understood that his parents' attention now had to be divided between him and his brother. This was a revelation he wasn't able to accept, and he became increasingly jealous and sometimes even violent against his little brother. Cain, as the firstborn, naturally looked up to his father as his role model. Following convention, the father himself raised the boy with certain expectations. It was therefore especially painful for Cain to see that his father now cared so much for his younger brother. Abel naturally looked up to his brother for guidance. Things were not easy for him either, but unlike Cain, Abel knew no different. As the boys grew up, Cain gained a strong sense of responsibility and, following tradition, took over the family farm. Abel, who was free from any obligation, chose to become a shepherd. Cain envied his younger brother's autonomy because life as a farmer became increasingly difficult. And on the day that the brothers were to make a gift to their father, Cain only brought a few bundles of dry grass. Abel, who did well for himself, brought an entire lamb. When the father thanked Abel for his generosity, Cain felt a deep shame. Overnight, his shame turned to hatred of monstrous proportions, and the next day he killed his own brother. The first big contribution to the field of sibling research came from the Austrian psychiatrist Alfred Adler and his theory of individual psychology. Adler believed that the main motive of human behavior is our desire for power, partly in compensation for our feeling of inferiority. Hence, sibling dynamics play a central role in family life and personality development as we grow up. Adler argued that children who grow up in the same family experience the family differently. In particular, sibling rivalry over family resources influences the development of personality. As a means of reducing competition, siblings differentiate, develop different qualities, and choose different interests. When siblings don't find their niches, their relationship can suffer. The Kellogg brothers hated each other and fought in court over who invented cornflakes. The Dasslers competed in business. After one started Adidas, the other founded Puma. But many siblings love each other more than anything. So what do we know about siblings in general? Here are 6 things science suggests to be true. Firstborn and single children look up to their father or mother as role models. The gap in mental and physical development between them and their parents may be the reason that they have, on average, a higher IQ. Parents tend to give their firstborn more attention and often set higher expectations. If they can't live up to those expectations, they may feel inferior, but on average, they seem to benefit from their position. Younger siblings model their development after their big brothers or sisters. They have a smaller developmental gap to overcome. They may also feel that they have less to prove, but as a result of a lack of parental attention, they develop social anxiety more often. On average, relationships between brothers are more conflicted. Relationships between sisters are more intimate. Siblings spend more time together than they spend with their parents. Younger siblings even twice as much. Children with siblings are physically more active and less often obese. They are often happier too. Some studies suggest that they develop social skills faster than children from only child families, but the research isn't conclusive. Sibling attachment seems to be a strong predictor of well-being, sometimes more important than paternal attachment. This also means that if one is bullying the other, it can affect them for life. One Swedish study of people aged 80 years found that while closeness to friends did little for total life satisfaction, feeling close with a sibling did a lot. For those of you struggling with a difficult sibling, Adler had the following advice. A simple rule in dealing with those who are hard to get along with is to remember that this person is striving to assert his superiority, and you must deal with him from that point of view.
Okay, do you think that you need to watch again the video, or pretty much the information was clear for you?
I think the information was clear, teacher.
Okay, great, perfect. So now we are going to answer these questions. True or false? Cain was jealous of Abel because he was the older brother. What do you think?
No, that's false. He was jealous, maybe because the parents give more attention to Abel than to him.
Yeah, correct. And also, Cain was already the older brother, so this sentence doesn't make any sense. What emotions did Cain's shame turn into?
I remember the word hatred, which is like hate.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was,
So
or let me check if there was more. No, I just wrote Yeah, like hatred, and then
Mm-hmm.
he killed his
And
brother.
yes, kind of wild. Um, what other emotion do you think that a person needs to feel to decide to kill someone?
Ooh, good question. Hatred. One would say that normally it will be negative emotions, but I had seen the cases of people who killed because of love, but not because of jealousy or unloyalty. But for example, I know a case about a man whose wife was in suffering. She had a terminal um sickness or a chronic sickness, I think is the name in English, and she was dying, and she begged him to kill her. And yeah, that was hard because imagine that situation. And so the
Oh
man
my
did.
gosh.
He did what her wife told him to do because she was in pain and she didn't want it. She didn't want her to suffer more. So even love can be a reason to kill, but usually one would say hatred, maybe confusion even. What else?
That is crazy. That's a crazy story. I don't think I will ever do to my husband or my boyfriend. I mean, I understand because maybe she was in a lot of pain, but killing the person that you love, I don't know, that's hard. I don't know. That's a very hard situation.
Yeah, I think I saw it in a news in the BBC, but it was like 2 years, 3 years ago. But I kept it in my mind because it was too hard for me, like listen to that. I mean, of course, in a film or in a TV show, you will see that, but of course, that's fiction. But in real life, oh my God, that for me that was hard. That
Yeah,
was hard to understand.
yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
Yeah, because
Well,
one would say hatred and so
okay.
on, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or jealousy. Like in Colombia, you know that a lot of men kill women because of jealousy. They feel jealous that other
Yeah,
men
I've
are
seen
like
that.
trying get their
I'm
attention.
worried.
Or like even between siblings, I think sometimes because they envy like their sibling success. Um, so they kill them for that. Or to like get the heritage, like the money heritage or their family. Yeah, it's crazy. It's very crazy. Okay, and the last one would be research shows that siblings rivalry never leads to long-term issues. What do you think? True or false?
Well, good question. I'm not sure if I didn't listen to that.
Okay.
Yeah, they
There
said
wasn't a
something.
specific, yeah, there wasn't a specific part where they talk about the bullying that sometimes you can do to your sibling and how that can affect for the rest of your life to a sibling, to a brother or a sister. I will
Oh,
say
yeah.
I will say that it depends on, it depends on like the family, how they solve the issues or how they didn't solve the issues. Do you have siblings, Jason?
Yep. Yeah, I have
You do.
siblings.
Um, okay. And have you ever fight with your siblings?
Yes, but that's a hard story for me because okay, I had I had four siblings, two sisters and two brothers. Well, actually, I
Mm-hmm.
had more, but I never know them, and they died many, many years ago before I was born. So I don't know about two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, with my sisters, I think all has been good. I mean, they are lovely. They are great people. With my brothers, the thing is, we won, I remember we fight even I mean we fight literally. Once I threw a
Physical
punch
fight?
and a kick. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was upset, but he was older than me, so I never take benefit of a younger than me. No, he
Mm-hmm.
was older than me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we get to physical, but I mean he never hit me, but once I remember I was pretty upset and I throw a punch at him.
Oh
And
my gosh.
yes, I was pretty violent when I was a kid. Nowadays, no, I'm not that kind of person. Not anymore.
But do you think that that fight that you have with your brother affect your relationship or like some like I don't know aspects of your personal life
The thing is,
or
it is
no?
interesting because at the next week we were hanging around and we were speaking like brothers. I mean, that's the interesting thing with a brother. In a moment,
Uh-huh.
you are fighting, you are discussing, you are hating each other. But in the other moment, you are hanging around, you are you are laughing, you are. That's the thing with brothers.
That's true.
And I had a okay. He sadly died in a bike accident some years ago. So yeah, I don't regret the times we fight. Sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
just I just yeah look at them and I like well I have some good memories about him. And I have another brother. Um, he's too introvert. He he never speaks. I mean, yeah, he's only like, "Hey, how are you doing?" and nothing else. So the relationship with him is, I mean, it doesn't affect me. Why? Because he's not like that big brother that some people sometimes like or something. I just, well, there I have a interesting thing, and well, I don't know how to explain. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a father.
Okay.
I mean, of course, I have a biological father. He got my mom pregnant of me, but he was never there. So when I was a child
Okay.
and in my teenager years, I wanted one of my brothers to fulfill that role of a father. So that's why
Okay.
that's pretty interesting.
I
And
see.
this year, that brother that is too introvert, he was here with me, but yeah, he wasn't. I had expectations about him, like being a good man and so on, but yeah, it turned out to be different. So I'm still with
Okay.
that
I'm
feeling of
sorry.
wanting a real father. Even when I'm
Mm.
23 years old, but I'm pretty sure I fucked up there. I mean, I will never have that feeling of having a good father unless I
Yeah,
become a
yeah,
good
yeah.
father. I think that's the only way. But
Yeah, I think that that
crazy
would
story.
be a good way to like, in some kind of way, like be a parent for yourself too. I don't know. There must be like a type of therapy in there, some type of connection. Um, but yeah, I know that like, or you never know, maybe one day you met someone in a store and you start getting a good relationship with that man and he become like a father for you. You never know, right? So I hope you find that father figure very soon. But yeah, I think that like it depends on like I also have siblings and I am the eldest one, the older one. And when my parents had my sister, the middle one, and then the youngest one, I was so jealous. I used to dislike them so much. I was 7 and then 9 years old. I used to dislike them. I didn't want to play with them. I just like I feel so annoyed by them. Like I don't know, they grow up, they become funnier. I could hang out more with them, and now I love them. They are like my best friends. So I think that like sibling rivalry or a sibling fight can overcome anything, and you can become like or get like a good result or a good relationship with your siblings. But of course, there are other exceptions where siblings they just hate each other and they can like cohabitate together, right? So there you go. So this is what we're going to listen today about siblings and different experiences that people around the world has had with siblings. So now, see, I we are going to listen to two audios, but first, can you please help me reading the listening strategy?
Sure. So, listening strategy. Remember that spoken English can sound quite different from written language. In fast speech, fluent speakers often shorten or omit certain elements. It is possible to train yourself to understand fast speech. You do not need to imitate fast speakers, but focus on trying to understand what they are talking about.
Mhm. So yeah, we're going to pretty much understand what these few people are going to express and say by the context. We don't have to try to understand their fast speech, but try to get a few words here and there to understand the context and the conversation and the monologue that they are trying to say. So, can you please help me reading these five questions?
Yeah. So number one, what was Ella's behavior like? Number two, what kind of child was the speaker? Number three, what did people used to say to the speaker? Number four, how did the speaker feel about his sister when they were young? And number five, when did their relationship improve?
Mm-hmm. So this is pretty much what we are going to do. We are going to listen to a student, to a boy, that it is talking about his sister and his experience having a sister. So I'm going to play the audio twice and then we are going to answer the questions, okay?
Ella, my sister, was born with big blue eyes and golden curls. She looked like an angel, and she behaved like one too. This was not good news for me. I was an energetic, noisy child. I wasn't particularly naughty, I was just a typical boy. But anyone would seem naughty compared to my sister. All I heard was, "Why can't you be more like your sister?" And I hated it, and I hated her sometimes. It wasn't her fault, of course. She was lovely and she adored me, but sometimes I pushed her away. Later, when I got better at school, things improved and we became good friends. People stopped comparing us then. She's still lovely and she still adores me, but now I think she's great too. Ella, my sister, was born with big blue eyes and golden curls. She looked like an angel, and she behaved like one too. This was not good news for me. I was an energetic, noisy child. I wasn't particularly naughty, I was just a typical boy. But anyone would seem naughty compared to my sister. All I heard was, "Why can't you be more like your sister?" And I hated it, and I hated her sometimes. It wasn't her fault, of course. She was lovely and she adored me, but sometimes I pushed her away. Later, when I got better at school, things improved and we became good friends. People stopped comparing us then. She's still lovely and she still adores me, but now I think she's great too.
Okay, so what was Ella's behavior like?
Well, he literally said like an angel, so I assume she was well behaved,
Mhm.
um, responsible. He didn't mention those words, but he said like he was like an angel.
Exactly. So he said that she looked like an angel, but she also behaved like an angel. So that's pretty much the answer. She was like an angel. That's it. What kind of child was the speaker?
He said like he was like naughty, not naughty, naughty. I think it is naughty,
Mhm,
energetic.
naughty.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, naughty, energetic,
Mhm.
and noisy too. I imagine I was
Noisy.
like that.
I wasn't like that. I was very quiet when I was a kid and like very shy, I would say. But yeah, he's mentioned two words. He said naughty and noisy. That was the type of child that he was. So very good. And what did people used to say to the speaker?
And they compare him, like,
Hmm.
why can't you be more like your sister?
Hmm.
Um,
Yep, that's pretty much it. They compared to him a lot with his sister. What do you think about comparison? What do you think when parents do comparison to their kids? Do you think it's necessary so the kids can like work harder and be better, or do you think it's toxic?
I think it is toxic because
Mm-hmm.
one needs to understand that each child has its own personality. So it is not good to want all of them to behave the same way. As I told you, for example, one of my brothers, he's pretty introvert. Okay, the only one that's alive right now. He's pretty introvert. But in comparison
Mm-hmm.
to me, I'm different. I like to speak. I like to talk shit and so on. And I
Mm-hmm.
have another case. Okay, in my case, my rivalry was more between my nieces because I am the youngest in my case.
I
And
see. Mm.
but my nieces, they started to born when I was a kid. So you would imagine that my mom, oh my gosh, she loved more. Okay, of course she didn't, but my perspective back in those days was like that. She loved my nieces more than me. She paid
I
more
see.
attention to my nieces than to me.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I was the youngest of my siblings, I had my nieces. And
Mm.
nowadays, they compare sometimes my siblings, they compare them to me. But the thing is, they say, like, why aren't you like your uncle Jason? She's studying and you are. Sadly, I have a niece. She has lost like 3 years at school. She's
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
much, yeah, nowadays, children, adolescent, it's not easy to, deal with them. So one of them is
Hmm.
a little, a little misbehave, let's say.
Oh
So that's
no.
the comparison. They say like, oh, your uncle Jason, he doesn't have, for example, I'm an indoorsy, so I prefer to be at home instead of going out. And my niece is different. She wants to be out and so on. So yeah, and the contrast, the interesting contrast there is that that niece, her name is Daniela. She has a sister. Her name is Sophia. Like, yeah, I know. And the thing is, they are pretty much different because Daniela is
Oh,
too
I see.
lazy and she wants to be out. And Sophia, she is more responsible. And Sophia is the younger one. I think
Okay.
Daniela has 15, 16 years, and Sophia has more or less 8 years, 7 years. And Sophia is more
Oh, okay.
responsible, she's calmer. So there you will the contrast. And here, of course, we cannot compare because when you
Mm-hmm.
compare, also you are creating rivalry. Because, for
Yeah.
example, Daniela would say like, "Why are you comparing me to my sister? She's not better than
Hmm.
me." Of course, no one is better than no one. Just the personality. So I
Different. Yeah.
prefer, as a parent, I would, because I'm not a parent, thankfully for now, I would prefer to give the example. For example, if I want my sibling, my daughters or my children to read, well, just I will read a book. If I don't want them to be all the day in cell phone, well, I am not going to use the cell phone. So that's the thing. More that
That's
comparison
true.
and telling them, I think it's better to
Mm-hmm.
be the example for them, the guidance, the true guidance.
That's true. That's true. I agree with you. I think that giving them like the example is like the best way that they can act as the way that we want to. But yeah, I agree. Comparison is the worst. and it's not helpful. It's not going to help your kid to get better. It's even going to make the situation even worse. So yeah. And how did the speaker feel about his sister when they were young?
I think he hate her. Like he
Yeah.
tried to pull her away. I think he push her away was the verb.
Hmm.
Um,
Because of the
yeah,
comparison, right? Like what were they expecting?
exactly. That's the thing that I just told you. When you try to compare two kids, they are going to, or at least one is going to hate the other one. Because of course I feel proud because I'm more or less I'm the example of the family. But on the other hand, I don't
Mhm.
like them to compare with me because at the end of the day, I'm a boring. Okay, I think I'm more or less I'm a boring person because you will never see me in a party or drinking beer or so on. I
Yeah,
prefer to
same.
be at home.
Me too.
And
Yeah.
in contrast, yeah, some family members they are more outdoorsy and so on. So that's the thing. Like we cannot compare because one feels comfortable with what we are. So yeah, that's the thing.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. And when did their relationship improve?
I
There
think
is
it
like a
was when they,
specific moment.
yeah,
Yeah?
something related to school, but I
Yeah.
don't remember if it was when they finished. I think they finished, so
I-
they became
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
like,
So it was when he started getting good grades. I guess that when he started getting good grades, his parents weren't that mad at him, weren't that annoyed at him. So they were nicer to him. So he saw like a different uh version of his parents. And I guess that his parents stopped comparing him with his sister. So that's when their relationship improved. When he said like, "Oh, actually, my sister is not that annoying." So yeah, it was when he started getting good grades. So okay, now we're going to listen to this audio. So it's a multiple choice activity. So based on these three questions, we're going to answer. So the first one, how does the first dialogue end? The speaker refused to listen to each other's points of view. The speaker eventually come to an acknowledgement of each other's viewpoints. The speaker decided that the disagreement can be resolved. Can you help me reading the second one and the third one, please?
okay. Also with the answers, right?
Yes, please.
And so number two, what caused the speaker of the monologue to feel happier during her childhood? A, her parents had triplets. B, a relative movement in with a relative moved in with them. Or C,
Mhm,
her brothers spent more time playing with her. And number
mhm.
three, in the second dialogue, what do Linda and Kathy tell in the interview? A, how their parents' divorce affected them emotionally. B, how Kathy continually annoyed Linda. Or C, what the main cause of problems between them was.
Okay, so I'm going to play the audio. If you need to listen to it again, let me know. Okay.
1.
I don't think you should hang out with Luke so much, Sam. He's not a nice guy, and I don't think he's a good friend to have.
Luke's fun. Why are you always commenting on my friends? You don't like any of them.
That's not true. I like Jonathan and Charlie.
That's because they're your friends too. Why can't I have some of my own friends?
You can, and you do. Plenty of them. But I just think Luke's a bit of a bad influence on you. He'll get you into trouble very soon.
You're always acting the older brother, and it's so annoying.
That's because I am the older brother and I'm looking out for you.
Well, thanks, but I don't need it. I'm old enough to make my own decisions now, and I can choose my own friends.
Fine, whatever. Look, I'm just warning you. Have some sense. Be careful and don't go along with all of Luke's stupid ideas.
Okay. I know what you mean. He does do some stupid things, but I don't think he's bad. Just silly. He makes me laugh.
Okay, fine. Maybe he's okay. But you look after him then. Sounds like he needs it.
2. I'm one of 6, and I had the bad luck to be born in the middle. I've got 2 much older brothers who were born only a year apart and have always been best friends. And I have 2 younger brothers and a sister, and they're triplets. You can imagine what my mum thought when the doctor told her the news. I was 2.5 when the triplets were born, and I think it was a real problem for me. I was still just a baby myself. My poor mum and dad tried to spend time with me, but they were exhausted looking after the triplets. And my brothers were usually somewhere else doing something I couldn't do. It's not that they didn't like me, they were just doing their own thing. So I was really happy when my grandma came to live with us. She became my second mum and did everything with me that my mum wasn't able to do. Grandma was the one who taught me how to ride a bike, tie my shoelaces, and took me to school on the first day. That sort of thing. We're so close now. I don't know what I'd do without her. 3.
What was it like with you girls as teenagers? Did you get along?
Well, not all the time. Isn't that right, Kathy?
That's right, Linda. We've always been close and we got on well as children, but we had problems when it came to sharing a room.
Yes. When our parents divorced, we went to live in a smaller house with our mum, and we had to share a bedroom again.
I was 17 and Linda was 15, and we had a lot of stuff for one small room.
You had a lot of stuff, Kathy, and you never put it away.
It's true that I wasn't particularly tidy then.
You were extremely messy.
True. And I didn't realise how messy I was and how much it bothered my little sister until one day I was sunbathing in the back garden and all my clothes came floating out of the upstairs window.
Yes. I'm afraid I threw all my sister's things that were on the floor out of the window. The garden was covered with them.
I ran upstairs and we had an argument, but I did try to be tidier after that.
You did. And the funny thing is that when we studied at university, we chose to share a flat together. And you're quite tidy now, aren't you?
Yep. Fortunately, I have improved since then.
Okay. Do you have the answers or do you want to listen to the audio again?
I think I have them.
Okay, perfect. So how does the first dialogue end?
I think B, the speakers eventually come to an acknowledgement of each other's viewpoints. Yeah, they start to say, okay, you're right in this and that and so on. So I think that was.
Exactly. That's pretty much what they did. They eventually come to an acknowledgement of each other's points of view, and they were like, you know what? Yeah, whatever. It's fine, right? So yeah, that's correct. Very good job. What about the second one?
Also B, a relative moved in with them. I think it was her grandma. And yeah, she became like her second mother, she said, I think, something like that.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. After she moved in, they felt like more comfortable, more loved. So yeah, that helped her a lot. So that's correct. And the third one?
Well, they spoke about the divorce
Yeah,
because they had
they
to
mention
live
it.
in a room and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, oh my gosh,
It's okay.
I'm not sure. Because again,
Oh,
B, it looks so suspicious because they annoyed each other, but in sometimes. But now I would go with
mm-hmm.
A.
We'll go
The
with
divorce
A.
was
Okay.
hard for them.
Okay, it's actually C. They mentioned the divorce, and I understand why some students would choose that one, but they actually were talking about the main cause of problem between them, and it was that they share a bedroom. So that's pretty much the main cause of their problems because one of them was organized and the other one was very messy. So that's why they were constantly fighting. So, yeah, sharing a bedroom was the main cause of problems. Okay, so now we are going to do the wrap up activity. So think about of a real experience, either from your own life or something that you read in an article or something that you heard, where you can, well, I think that we kind of did it with your nieces about like comparisons, but can you try to use it again, but try to include two new expressions that you might heard during the audios, like compared to, felt inferior, obligation, attention, golden child. So yeah, let me know when you're ready. It can be just spoken, so you don't have to write anything.
Okay, just one question. I assume golden child is like spoiled child or something.
A golden child es como el hijo que, Dios mío, el hijo trofeo, el hijo que es perfecto, el hijo que se comporta súper bien, que le va muy bien en el colegio, o sea, literal, el niño perfecto.
Okay, thank
Mhm. So I'll give you 2 minutes and then you can share your phrase. It doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be complicated. And yeah, let me know.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, teacher, I think so.
Perfect.
May I start?
Are you writing
Teacher,
it or you're going to say it?
no. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. So
Okay,
may I
okay, gotcha.
start?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I would say that first of all, I'm not trying to be the center of the world because I'm not, of course,
Hmm.
nor the center of my family. No, I don't give a damn about them. But I have always,
Mhm.
okay, lastly, I want to be like the golden, but not child, let's say the golden teenager, the golden son.
Mhm.
Not because I look for perfection or not because I'm proud, but because I think that's my obligation in this world. I need a sense. And compared
Mhm.
to my siblings, yeah, they all have children. I don't. They all, well, at least two of them. One of them is married. The another one, she's in a relationship. My brother, he has a child, but he is divorced. So
Okay.
sometimes I think they might feel inferior than me because, to be honest, sometimes I think some of them they are sad. I'm the only one
Mhm.
single with no obligations to a couple or to a child.
Mhm.
So all my attention goes to my university and my life. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's quite interesting because at this age I have all of my sisters and both my sisters and my brothers, they were already living with someone. And
Mhm.
I don't know if that's okay, that's complicated. That's complex. Of course, I'm not feeling that I'm the better one than them. Just we had a different life. And in matters
Mhm.
of attention, I have to say that my mom, she's always attentive of all of us. I mean, even though I'm
Mhm.
the youngest one, she's not like that kind of mom who has preferences. No, she treats
Okay.
us all in the same way. And that's, I think I pretty thank a lot to my mom because she
Okay.
never make us feel inferior or something. So yeah, I think that's my
Okay.
little
That's
story.
great. Yeah, that's great. That's a very good phrase and story. And yeah, thank you very much for participating of this wrap up activity and to like include these expressions. Um, well, this is the end of our session. I'm going to send you the attendance link. Do you have any question, any comment, any suggestion?
No, teacher, I think it was all crystal clear. The activities. I love the second one. It was challenging for me. Or
Mm-hmm.
the two activities they were challenging for me, and I really appreciate that when they are challenging because I have
Yeah,
to
me too.
make a lot
Mm-hmm.
of effort, more than usual.
Yeah, that is true.
So yeah,
It's like
that
proving
is
yourself, right?
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jason, it was very nice to have you here. I hope to see you again in another opportunity. We have 2 weeks left of these sessions. So yeah, I hope I can see you again in the next few weeks.
Yeah, teacher, I sign for your class tomorrow at I think it's 7 a.m., 7:30.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. I will be sending the invitation soon. So yeah, that will be great. Great to see you there. We're going to practice a lot of reading. So yeah, be prepared.
Of course, teacher, I will. So yeah,
Okay.
thanks a lot,
Okay.
teacher, for the class.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Have a good
see you
evening.
next week.
Enjoy your dinner. Have a delicious dinner and everything. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Sure, teacher. Bye there. Have a nice one.
You too. Bye bye.